Hi and welcome. This is the match reaction to Arsenal 2, Everton nil. It was a match played yesterday, Saturday, the 14th of March, and Arsenal came out as victors, 2-0 winners. And my prediction was a 1-0 or a 2-0 scoreline, and that was the case. It was a scoreline that I predicted 2-0, and it came to fruition. It's a good score, and it was a great game. It was a tough match by Arsenal because in the 16th minute, Dwight McNeil hit the post for Everton. That could have easily went in, and but it didn't, thank God. So it it was a game where Arsenal it, Arsenal battled for 80 plus minutes. It was a battle. Everton, they were able to have a few shots on target, a few good saves by David Raya, but it was a battle because the match in spectacular fashion finished with a 2-0 scoreline. And it was goals by Gyökeres and Max Dowman. They were introduced into the game and they were able to change the course of the game, especially remember the name, Max Dowman. Yes, remember the name, forget Wayne Rooney, remember the name, Max Dowman. And incidentally, Rooney was playing for Everton against Arsenal when he scored, and he was 16 years plus and whatever. But Max Dowman is 16 years and a few days old, just like Rooney was, and he's playing for Arsenal, and he has scored for Arsenal in a very crunch game and made the game 2-0. So it was a very interesting game. Max Dowman becomes the youngest scorer in Premier League history in the stoppage time strike, which made it 2-0 to the Gunners. So it's a very great and great scoreline and great game. They left it late. I'm sure in the stadium, some people may have left before the last. No, you have to stay until the very, very last minute to make sure that we win the game, support the team. They are doing fantastically well. Support them and we'll see. We have glory in our midst. And the first bit of glory is coming at the 22nd of March. It is a game, Arsenal versus Man City in the Carabao Cup. It's going to be at Wembley Stadium. And yes, I hope to be in the vicinity, in the area, in the place, Wembley Stadium, to watch the match and bring you all the juicy details of that match, because it's going to be an interesting match. It's the first bit of silverware, and Arsenal are hungry. We are hungry for silverware. The first bit of silverware that we have in our recent history is the FA Cup in Mikel Arteta's first season of the Premier League. That's the first bit of silverware that we have, and we want more. We are hungry for more. We deserve more as fans. We are very loyal to Arsenal Football Club, and we have been for so many years, and we have not seen any silverware since that FA Cup win all those years back in 2020 when no one was allowed into the stadiums. So now we are hungry for more. We are hungry for the quadruple. In all honesty, we are hungry for the quadruple, and hopefully Arsenal can do something amazing this season, which has never been done before. Don't quote me on that, but it's not been done before. Hopefully, Arsenal can win the quadruple this season, starting off 22nd of March. Uh, Hopefully, we can win against a Man City. We've beat them before, and it's going to be another chance to beat them again in a Carabao Cup final. We take it seriously. It's the first cup competition, one game at a time. But before the Carabao Cup, we have one game which is very important, and that game which is very important is the Bayer Leverkusen game, where we are drawing 1-1 at the moment with Bayer Leverkusen. So it is a game where everything is to play, and everything is to play in that game on Tuesday night. It's a big, big Champions League match. So everything is to play. We have to go, as Jed has stated, we have to go one game at a time. It is important not to get too ahead of ourselves. It is important not to get ahead of ourselves. So the next game after Everton being beat convincingly, even though the performance wasn't the best, but being beat in the last minutes, is the next game is Bayer Leverkusen, and hopefully Arsenal are ready and prepared for that game on Tuesday night. So let's see if we can win that game. And then we have another comment. Thoughts on Liverpool dropping 2 points? Well, Liverpool, I'll have to check the table. They are not in the title race. So Liverpool don't concern me. In fact, Liverpool need to be looking over their shoulders, because Chelsea is hot on their heels, 48 points. Liverpool 49 points. Aston Villa 51 points. Liverpool may not necessarily get a Champions League spot. And as for Liverpool dropping points against Spurs, Liverpool dropping points against Spurs. I will say that they. I watched some of that match, the ending, and I saw Tottenham score their goal, the Spurs, and it felt like pain. It felt a bit like pain. Spurs getting back into that game. I thought Liverpool had wrapped it up, but they haven't. They hadn't. Sorry, they hadn't wrapped it up, and they needed to score a second goal to wrap that game up, but it just didn't come for them. So they were unable to hold out for that 1-0, and they weren't able to hold out for the 1-0 win. And Spurs, they just got into that match, and They took a point, and a point. I don't think a point is a good point for Spurs. They're still in the relegation mud. So let's have a look at them as well. Relegation for the well, Spurs are on 30 points. Their closest rivals, Nottingham Forest and West Ham, are on 29 points each. So Spurs fortunately got a draw today, Sunday, 15th of March against Liverpool. They fortunately got a draw, but I don't think that they can stay up. I think Nottingham Forest, West Ham, if they can put together a little run in these last remaining 8 games, if they can put a little run, it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to go down to the last day of the Premier League. Which team, which team, which team goes into the relegation zone? You know, you can say Burnley and Wolverhampton are definite certs to go down, and then it's a toss up between Spurs, Nottingham Forest, and West Ham, and possibly Leeds United could get into that. But I don't think. I think Leeds, as long as they win their games, they'll be safe. But as for Spurs, it's Spurs, Nottingham Forest, and West Ham in the relegation zone. Yeah, one of the teams out of those will be coming out. So let's see what this guy said. Thoughts on Hencapi, as I think he'll sign permanently. Hencapi is a very good player. Hopefully in the summer, Arsenal do make the decision to sign him, and I think it's a 45 million release, not release clause, but a 45 million negotiation that they have already done with. Which team is he coming from? The which team is he coming from? Hincapi is by Leverkusen. It's already prearranged, so it's prearranged. So in the summer, hopefully he signs, and that will be a good signing for Arsenal. He's another defender, and Arsenal need good defensive reinforcements because, yeah, I think you know, one game at a time. We'll see how the season ends. Hopefully, Arsenal can do something extraordinary. Let me say it again. Hopefully Arsenal can do something extraordinary. I can't even say extraordinarily great this season if they can get the quadruple, but just going one game at a time, one game at a time. If they can get the quadruple this season, extraordinarily great. That would be exceptional in a season where it's, the season has gone on and we've battled and battled, and we've been there as fans, whether online, in person, or anywhere around the world, wherever you may be, watching the matches at all hours of the day and night. We've been fans throughout, and we see how Arsenal can do this season, which is which is which is quite good. So let's see how they do. So Arsenal currently top of the Premier League, 70 points. Man City, they drew. No, did they draw? I think their result, Man City. Let's see. Man City, they drew with West Ham late on, and they drew with West Ham, so they dropped points. 2 points they dropped, and Man City was winning at one stage, but they drew with West Ham, so they dropped 2 points, and now Arsenal lead the Premier League table by 9 points with, for Arsenal, 7 games to go. So seven big cup final games for Arsenal to secure the Premier League in secure the Premier League in the last. It's been going on for 22 years without the Premier League title for the Gunners, for Arsenal. So let's see if they can do it. But it's one game at a time, one game at a time. They're in the best position possible, still in four four competitions. So we see how and how how we do in those competitions. So Starboy Saka and Starboy Diamond, they are exceptional talents, and you know, Saka the other day had an off game, but he is allowed an off game, and in the last game he played much better, I would say, and we're gonna need him for the running, which starts this Tuesday against Bayer Leverkusen, where we need to win at home to go through to the quarterfinal stages of the Champions League. Hopefully, Arsenal last season, they got all the way to the semi-finals, I believe it was, and we had two exceptional free kicks from Declan Rice against Real Madrid. I'm sure we can win against any team in the Champions League, and we are on the side, a very good draw on our side. I think if we pass Bayer Leverkusen, then it is Bodo Glimt that we may face. I'm not too sure. Bodo Glimt, if they win their match, is a possibility. But whatever, we have to just take it one game at a time, and go from there. So let's see what this says. I love Saka. He wore the 87, number 87, when I first saw him come through, and my year of birth is 1987. Well done for that comment, Jed, and big up yourself, Jed. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks for the comment. So big up yourself, and big up Saka, Starboy Saka. Big up, in fact, the entire Arsenal team. Big them all up. They're doing exceptionally well. David Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, all of the Arsenal players, even the ones coming on for as substitutes. You know, they're doing extremely well, and we're still in four competitions, as said before. So and big up Don Arteta. Hopefully, hopefully hopefully, hopefully, we are celebrating come the end of the season, celebrating big time because we have been starved of silverware. We have been truly starved. We have been starved of silverware. You know, the FA Cup was long ago. We didn't do no celebrations for that. So we have been starved. So let's see if we can, let's see if we can get as much silverware as possible this season. And that will be fantastic for Arsenal moving forward. You know, I predicted um, I predicted when we've come second 3 times, 3 years in a row. I predicted for 10 years Arsenal is going to be at the forefront of the Premier League and competitions. The team is set up very very well, and those second place finishes we needed just to get over the line, and hopefully this is our season where we can get over the line, and that will kickstart the revolution of the 10-year plan where Arsenal are at the forefront challenging for silverware year in, year out, blowing all the other teams. It's going to be boring Arsenal back right at the top of the Premier League, blowing teams away left, right, and centre, and we'll be up there. We have to make sure we clinch the FA Cup so that we are the top winners of the FA Cup. So we're back to being a big club, and we catch up the Man U's and Liverpool's of this era in the Premier League total wins, because you know Man U and Liverpool have won it more than us, but it's one game at a time, year in, year out, and we see how we do. So thank you for watching. Please